sad boy, alone on the beach, eating a Danish. The muse to my next piece.
Yeah, I gotta get it rid of these somehow. I forgot the original recipe made 20. So how'd you find me here anyway? Especially, like, right now. Aren't the elderly supposed to be sleeping or something?
You jackass. If anything, you're the old man. You don't know how to work a phone. Everyone's been trying to reach you.
Yeah, I know. You still haven't answered my question, stalker.
Well, I remember last summer, you brought us out here a couple times, and there was that one time after one of Tom's parties, you drunkenly walked out here.
Oh yeah, that's pretty impressive considering we live like 2 miles from here, so.
So what's up? I know you, Brandon. You're thinking. In fact, you're always thinking. Overthinking is your MO.
Okay, yeah, I do think. I'm a human being that has the capacity to do something like you lesser creatures. But yeah, I guess there's been some stuff in my mind.
So, what makes this the place to, go through all of that stuff?
When I was little, my dad and I would lay on the driveway and look up at the sky. He had to think for space. For him, this is about the stars. He wasn't concerned with knowing the constellations. He just focused on each one. Each star has its own potential of having their own planets, and on each planet their own reality. It comforted him when there's an infinite amount of planets like Earth, and he loved that. At night we're exposed to an infinite amount of realities and an infinite amount of cultures, or maybe even our alternative realities from either the past or the future. When the sun comes up over the horizon, and the colors of orange and blue wash out those infinities, it brings us back to this reality. We're about to get handed a really expensive piece of paper in a little bit. So I just wanted to catch up with the old man before the sun comes up and the colors wash them away before we're grounded back to this reality. Lately I've been thinking about what I've been doing, or really what if I've been doing is right. My parents worked hard all their adult lives just coming here in order for me to get a good job, get a degree, and graduate. And I'm happy to say I've done that. But I can also say my dad had an artist's heart. He noted the importance of expressing yourself and that nothing in life is worth doing unless you do so virtuously. To strive for virtue. He's such a passionate human being. And I know he worked hard to get me here, but I don't think he would want me wearing polos and slacks just to feel complacent. That's exactly how I feel. This past interview, I was doing good work. The higher-ups liked me, and I didn't necessarily hate it. I didn't feel like myself either.
So what? Making Danishes makes you feel like yourself?
I don't know. I mean, it's just what's been on my mind. And I know it's a grateful problem to have, but it's something that keeps me up at night. Evidently. What about you? I mean, you're a great artist, and people recognize that.
I mean, well, I like student competitions.
And you've done great commission work as well. I mean, it's not like you're not qualified to do so. What's stopping you from dropping out and studying law when I know you can care less?
Well, at least I'd have a roof over my head if I cared less. Like, art? I mean, I wish.
But you can. I mean, with some work and a couple big breaks, you can. What's stopping you?
I I never I never really thought do you remember how we first met?
Yeah, it was in that East Asian history class freshman year.
And do you remember how I was?
Yeah, you were quiet, super attentive, writing full-page notes, and just a little bit fidgety. Well, you weren't one of those kids that constantly raise your hand. Actually, I think one of the only times you did so was to share how the Mongol invasion actually helped the environment.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I was a nerd.
Still are.
Okay. The beginning of college, I was very much I was in a tunnel. And it was a new city. I didn't really know anyone. And I was very wet behind the ears. I had a lot of expectations going into that first year. And I think I expected so much that I kind of guarded myself from the opportunities that were right in front of me. And I mean, I only talked to a few people, and I just kept to myself most of the time. Working, getting ahead on weeknights, and on the weekends. I'd just be watching the same shows and movies over and over again while I drew in my dorm by myself.
So you're introverted. That's surprising.
I mean, I always thought I was more independent than I really was, but the reality was that a lot of things were just missing. I was missing my friends who were all at the same school. I was missing my family. I totally underestimated how much my parents and my grandparents supported me. And I started to realize how they were humans too. They were there for me. They were always there for me. You know, I'd text my parents every now and then, sometimes for, help with money. I would try to call my grandparents about once a week or so. But it kind of slipped as time went on. It just became hard. Because to be honest, I didn't really have much to talk about anymore. Most of the time, it was just basically me saying yes or no, or I'm just working on homework right now. And I don't know, it just became hard. And then came winter break. I was in the kitchen one night with my grandma, and we were just folding dumplings and chatting away. And then at one point, she'd asked me, "How are you at school? Are you getting along with your friends? Are you happy?" That was the first time that she had asked me about school that wasn't about academics. She asked about my well-being. She asked about me. And I don't know. And I gave a very unconvincing yes just to kill the question and move on, but I think we both knew that I wasn't being honest. And I never got to give a real answer after that day. question lived on in a subtle way in my mind. Are you happy? The person who watched me while my parents were working, who took me to the bus stop each morning, and who took me to the park at every free moment, and who always had a warm meal for me at the end of each day. I was just wondering and concerned about how I was. If I wasn't just alive, but if I'd gotten around to living. And that just began to sit heavy in me. But at the end of the day, I realized that her question was a gift. I started to accept what I couldn't control and what I shouldn't expect. And I gained a new sense of strange security, knowing that nothing is safe from never ending.
So, what happened after that?
Baby steps. I started doing things that I was waiting out on. And I started really enjoying the small stuff.
Small stuff?
Like studying, or really trying to study. Late night conversations. And going out to eat with people.
And you wonder why you're always broke.
My money is for food. I started taking day trips in the city. And amongst the trees. I also began to take risks. I experienced my first love. And my first heartbreak. But I realized I had hands to catch me. Like you.
Well, yeah, I mean, your ex was an ass.
I truly realized how important family was. I also realized how people can become your family too. And that I wanted to make sure that my family is cared for. And I found out how important my art is to me.
So, why not make it your life? Pretty sure your grandmother wouldn't mind if it makes you happy.
If it weren't for her, although I would much prefer her to still be here, it would have taken me a much longer time to realize how rich life can be, as long as you don't dull your own colors. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. I think about why they came here in the first place, and the sacrifice that she and my entire family made in order for my life to be as prosperous as possible, even if it hurts theirs. They just want me to make all of it worth it. And I feel like I owe it to them. And it's not right or wrong, but it's just what I feel like doing right now.
Don't you want to spend the limited amount of time we have doing what you want?
Even if I'm not doing art full time, I still think my colors are going to preserve the outlook that I have on my life. Because, 50-year-old me, hell, even 30-year-old me is probably rolling her eyes right now, but I guess that's just the beauty of being naive.
Should not care about purpose? Like striving for virtue?
Fuck virtue. I mean, how do you even define, let alone have virtue? Surely not from some group of old rich guys from forever ago. Virtue only has meaning if you define it yourself, but I guess striving for that is hopeless. So instead, if the soulless world of law washes me out, I'll just try to remember my grandmother and what she asked. Are you happy? And I'd bet you that all your dad truly wants for you is to just be happy. Can you say that your father knows that you're happy?
I know where to start.